In a month's time, Ozzie and the Sox have gone from 9 games under to 10 games over and now sit just a half game out of first place. Home runs by Quentin and Beckham last night helped the Sox to their 7th straight win, and today they have a chance to complete their 2nd consecutive sweep. It's All-Star Paul Konerko and the Sox taking on the Royals in the finale next on Comcast Sportsnet. We are coming to you from U.S. Cellular Field, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Alex Rios, Carlos Quentin, A.J. Pierzynski and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Billy Butler, Scott Posednik, and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this 3-game set and this homestand. As you know, the Sox have taken the first 2 games of this set. They won 8-2. Mark Burley was the winner, pitched great. Then last night, 5-1. Gavin Floyd, once again, was just outstanding. So the Sox, on top of that sweep of the Angels in that 4-game set, now have a chance to sweep this homestand. We come in at 48-38, 10 games over, just a half game back of the Tigers, and trying to keep it going this afternoon with a man making his first start this year.
Daniel Hudson's going to the mound and quite obviously taking over for Jake Peavy, who's lost for the year. Daniel Hudson at AAA this year was 11-4. His ERA very good, and especially good the last 8 times out. His ERA was just over 2. So Hudson, who briefly came up last year, has got to show that he can pitch in the major leagues because he's going to be pitching in a pennant race, assuming that he throws the ball as well as we know he can throw it. He's opposed by Anthony LaRue. Now, you might remember him back in KC. We lost that game 3-1. LaRue was a fastball straight change pitcher. Didn't have a big fastball, had a pretty decent straight change, and would mix in only the occasional breaking ball. So now that we've seen him once, things should be easier today. We'd like to be in first place at the break. We'd like to win 8 in a row. Just have to go out and do it.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
U.S. Cellular Field, where Kansas City will lead off with Scott Posednik. Then it'll be Jason Kendall, David DeJesus, Billy Butler, Jose Guillen is the DH, Cayaspo, Aviles, Meyer, and Bentoncourt rounded out. The defense and how they're going to line up behind Daniel Hudson, left to right, Pierre Rios and Jones in the infield, Viciedo, Vizquel, Beckham, and Kotze. A.J. Przinsky behind the plate. And Daniel Hudson will go to the mound for his first start of the year. He's our Toyota starting pitcher. Those are the numbers of AAA Charlotte. 11-4, ERA in the mid-threes. He led the league in strikeouts. A wonderful 3.2 and a half to 1 strikeout to walk ratio. The game conditions, 83 degrees with only 44% humidity. The winds out of the southwest 10 to 15 miles an hour, so they will be a factor here today. And it is partly sunny. The umpires for the game today: Brian Knight behind the plate. Jerry Davis is at first. Sam Holbrook is at second. And Greg Gibson is at third. Season series between these two teams. The Sox hold a one-game lead. They've been out-hit by the Royals, but they've outscored them. And ERA-wise, no contest. Sox looking for their 5th in 6 games at home. So we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to throw it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale of this 3-game set and the finale of this 7-game homestand. Sox have taken the first 6 games of this homestand. They have won 7 in a row and trying to make it a very, very pleasant and happy All-Star break.
And with Minnesota leading Detroit, a win here today might make it a first-place All-Star break.
That pitch low and in to the leadoff hitter, Scott Pasedny. Comes in hitting at .297, 3 homers. He's driven in 34, 3 for 9 in this series. There's the strike.
Daniel's got low 3/4 or high, just about a low 3/4 delivery and a very good slider.
And a very competitive stomach.
Well, I think he's going to be a good one.
He's going to be fine. He is going to be fine. He's going to take over for Jake. And this young man is going to do just fine.
And I don't think it's a coincidence when teams came to the White Sox and they were talking any trade at all, Hudson's name was always in the conversation.
Ball gets away, but he's got plenty of time. Takes it, makes it. He gone.
That was a good straight change, and because Pasednik hadn't seen it, he was way out in front of him. And along with that fastball and good slider is a very good straight change.
Daniel 6'3", 225 pounds, out of Virginia Beach. Jason Kendall, the 36-year-old veteran receiver. Kendall 4 for 9 in this series. And the count 2-0. And here at beautiful US Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. No walks. Kansas City is a team leading the major leagues in hitting at .282. And they can absolutely, there's ball 4. So 4 in a row off the mark.
There's a look at Ned Yost. Took over for Trey Hillman. Yost managed the Milwaukee Brewers over 1,000 games. Says he's benefited by that. His team is over 500 since he took over. And they play hard. This is not a walkover team any longer.
Well, the last 3 years, they've really played us tougher than the Tigers. So here's the Jesus having a very fine season. Coming in hitting at .327, 5 homers. He's driven in 36. 1 for 7 with an RBI in this series. Yeah, coming into this series, the Royals have won 8 out of the last 10. And they had just come in here after sweeping the Mariners in Seattle. There's the strike and the count 1-1. Billy Butler on deck.
A lot of people figure that although DeJesus is coveted by a number of teams because of his very dependable left-handed bat, but the Royals want to keep him, make him a little better in center field, and then try to flank him with some power on either side in the outfield.
That is out of play. That is 95. So the count 1-2 to the 30-year-old outfielder. Jesus last year, 281, 13 homers, and knocked in 71. KCA well off the line at third. Hudson, if you're just tuning in, down at Charlotte, 11-4 with a 3.47 ERA, and that is, he was leading the league in strikeouts, and that is really good when you're talking about pitching in a bandbox like that ballpark. It is a small park.
When you've got 3+ pitches and you can get them all over the plate, that makes you pretty much unhittable as far as AAA is concerned. Question is here, can he maintain that type of consistency in the zone?
Line shot. Going to go to second, get the lead man back to first. Rack him up. Oh, 3-6-3 double play. And that'll do it after a half inning of play. It's the Royals 0 and the good guys coming to bat.
We'll go with Pierre leading it off in left field, and Vizquel at short, Rios in center field, Carlos Quentin the DH today. Then it's Katze, Pierzynski, Jones, Viciedo, and Beckham playing second and hitting ninth. The defense, and how they'll line up behind Anthony LaRue, Pasednik, Meyer, and DeJesus left to right, Callasco, Betancourt, Aviles, and Butler. Kendall behind the plate. And the Toyota starting pitcher is Anthony LaRue, on for the 5th time. He is 1-0 against the Sox, beating them 3-1 in Kansas City. There you look at the rest of the numbers. Right-handers have hit him better than left-handers, which is indicative of a guy that throws a good straight change.
And before we show you our picks to click you at home, select yours as Juan Pierre gets set to lead it off. Juan comes in hitting at .257. No homers. He's driven in 14. He is 1 for 8 in this series. So LaRue, 6'4", 225 pounds, out of Hillsburg, Pennsylvania.
You've got to be ready to hit, because LaRue gets it back from Kendall and just gets ready to throw it. He works fairly quickly.
Well, he's got a chance in. There's a shot foul.
He had some big trouble adjusting to his straight change in Kansas City, but that's the first time we took a look at him. And so now knowing what he throws and having some more extensive tape on him. Hopefully he holds the team in good stead today.
Yeah, that's the second best pitch in baseball. 2-2 to Pierre. And he's got the quick feet out there in his windup. Little chopper. Betancourt's got a big arm. Uses it. 1 out. And right now with 1 out, all you got to do to play along with us in our Pitch to Click is tune into the Felco pregame live to see Ozzy's lineup every day, then make your selection. And today, the White Sox fans watching at home have voted for Carlos Quentin. Jim Angier, our director and the crew, are going with Gordon Beckham. Stone Pony's going with Juan Pierre. And the Leonakis family down in South Bend, Indiana at Roseland Garden Center. Phyllis, George and Tom, and Deb. We're going to go with Diane to Seattle. Omar takes ball 2. Omar 2 for 4 yesterday, hitting at 244, a homer he's driven in 14. Takes a strike.
And the Royals defend Omar very similar to how they defend Juan Pierre. With Posednik in very close and left.
And Pod's got him. 2 down. So that'll bring up Alex Rios. Hitting at 305, 14 homers, 47 driven in. What job?
That got him right in the middle of the back, and it looked like the first breaking ball that LaRue threw. Didn't work out very well. But if you're going to get hit with one of these. And if you're not going to get hit, just go to first base and make it look like you got hit.
Yeah, the breaking ball or the changeup. Sometimes those baseballs can get very hard.
Very difficult to deliver.
So here's Carlos, 3 for 6 in the series. And yesterday had 2 hits, both of them left the park. As that's popped up right side. Avela's making the call, has the ball, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across, and at the 1, there's no score.
Yes, A, Paul Konerko, B, Carlos Quentin, C, Alexei Ramirez, or D, the starting pitchers. Text A, B, C, or D to 53695. Stick around for the U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live for final results, or visit csnchicago.com.
It'll be Butler, Guillen, and Callaspo to face young Daniel Hudson. Butler hitting at .329 homers. He's driven in 46. Takes first pitch strike. Butler 0 for 7 in this series.
If you have some confidence that you're not going to strike out, and Butler doesn't strike out a lot, you can watch a few pitches. That way you have some sort of an idea about what a pitcher has. From a pitching standpoint, you just as soon not show him your entire arsenal the first time up.
There's a strike in the count, 1-2. There's a bad breaking ball right there that's smoked into center field.
That one just rolled right over the middle of the plate. And Butler, who can stay back and take the ball to right field with the best of them, went out on the front foot, but he kept his hands back. And if you're out on the mound, you see a guy shift his weight but keep his hands back on an off-speed pitch, you usually have some problems.
That'll bring up Guillen. Takes that pitch low and away. He's hitting at .275, 14 homers and 52 driven in.
He's going to be a wonderful double play target if he can keep the ball on the ground.
One and one to count.
Last night he was hobbling around on a quad problem and had to, well, eventually was taken out of the game, but they said that it was just a bandage he had that had slipped.
That's back and into the upper tank. Well, that's as bad as I mentioned last night. That's as bad as I've ever seen a guy hobbling on a base path.
And he's back in there today, so apparently the explanation was sound. And this is the guy they would dearly love to move for the second half of the year.
Lays off that one, 2-2. You don't want to get too cute. He did, and now it's a full count.
Well, Butler hasn't run this year, and Guillen strikes out a lot.
He's not going, and there's a payoff pitch, and he gone.
That's exactly why he was not running. Good straight change, the confidence to throw it. AJ put it down. And Daniel threw it in a perfect spot. So good call by AJ, good execution by Hudson.
That'll bring up Alberto Callaspo, switch hitting third baseman. Comes in at .276, 8 homers. He's driven in 41. Takes that fastball up high. And that's popped up, staying. It won't. And to count 1-1. Well, we had a sad moment today in baseball as Bob Shepard, who was the voice of Yankee Stadium since April 17th, 1951, passed away. He was a friend to all of us, and one of the first people that we always said hello to going into Yankee Stadium when we walked into the press room. As that pitch is up high and the count 2-1. He was an eloquent linguist. And he also wrote and delivered hundreds of moving tributes and eulogies, including those for Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio. There's the strike. Ray Charles, President Ronald Reagan, and those lost in the attacks on September 11th, 2001.
And an absolutely unmistakable voice.
Unreal. Just fantastic. And he also wrote a tribute to Old Yankee Stadium. And it went, "Farewell, Old Yankee Stadium, farewell. What a wonderful story you could tell. DiMaggio, Mantle, Gehrig, and Ruth. A baseball cathedral in truth." And he walks him. So 2 on, 1 out.
Going to be the time to walk Callaspo because he's been swinging the bat very badly in this series. He's been popping up the ball consistently to the left side. But AJ went out there to calm him down. Still have the double play in order with Aviles.
Aviles hitting at 309, a couple of homers. He's driven in 13. 0 for 6 in this series. There's a strike. Bob Shepard's first lineup that he ever delivered at Yankee Stadium was back on April 17th, 1951, when the Yankees were hosting the Red Sox. And for the Red Sox, the lineup was Dom DiMaggio in center, Billy Goodman in right, Ted Williams in left, Vern Stevens at third, Walt Dropo at first, Bobby Dorr at second, Lou Boudreau at short, Buddy Rosar the catcher, and Billy Wright the pitcher. And for the Yankees, Jackie Jensen in left, Phil Rizzuto at short, Mickey Mantle in right, Joe DiMaggio in center, Yogi Berra the catcher, Johnny Mize at first, Billy Johnson at third, Jerry Coleman at second, and Vic Raschi on the mound. Webs goes all the way to the backstop, so now some trouble brewing.
We'll probably see a wild pitch charge to Hudson. As this ball well away from AJ. He's telling him now, look, you get out of here by throwing strikes. Whatever happens to these 2 base runners happens. Get the hitter out. Most managers will tell you we can live with 2. Just limit the big inning. Get the hitter out.
Outfield around to the right. And that is poked into right center. If they cut it off, they're going to get him at third. There you go. He gone. But they score a run. And we'll go to the bottom of the second. It is 1-0 Royals. Inning. And a youngster out there on the mound in his first start of the season.
He got helped out by Kansas City. That was some terrible base running on the part of Callaspo. Hudson got out with just 1 run. That could loom big in this game.
Well, that's why you got to hit the cutoff man. Yes, there's a ground ball up the middle into center field by Aviles. So KCA starts it off in fine fashion. The good things happen when you play good fundamental baseball, like hitting the cutoff man.
Hitting the cutoff man and getting an adventuresome base runner without a whole lot of speed.
Yeah, but if you don't hit the cutoff man,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. He's going to make it wherever he wants to go. So here's AJ. Hitting at .243, 6 homers. He's driven in 25. AJ 3 for 7 in the series, and of the 3 hits he has in this series, 1 of them stayed in the park. As he checks it up, takes it low and in. Outfield shading him around to the left. Bit of a gap in right center as he tries to stay inside that one. Fouls it away. Sox in the final game before the All-Star break. Final game of this series and this homestand. Sox swept the Angels in the first 4. They're taking the first 2 from Kansas City. Sox on a 7-game winning streak.
Minnesota behind Carl Pavano has a 4-0 lead over Detroit. So a comeback in this game. It's a very good chance to find the Sox a half game up heading into the break.
Got a good pitch to hit right there. Couldn't do anything with it.
There you look at the standings heading into action today. The Twins without Justin Morneau have fallen 4 back. Tigers 1 game up in the loss column, a half game overall. And if they lose today, that will be in jeopardy.
And another souvenir. Well, on this homestand, this is the first time the Sox have been behind.
Such has been the dominance of their starting pitchers.
The 1-2. Now the shank. That's the pitch that AJ has got to lay off from the right-hander. Down and in.
Nice stop by Jason Kendall, or KCA would be standing at second base. Especially when you consider the catcher is set up low and away, and the pitcher misses his spot by a good 3 feet.
Now the foul, and talking about Pierzynski, this is your chance to win an AJ jersey and tell the White Sox also what you think. Simply log on to your computer and take a quick survey. Your answers are confidential. Visit whitesox.com/survey. And you must complete the survey before today's game ends. And there's a base hit. KCA's going to make the turn. He'll get into third. So runners at the corners and nobody out.
AJ, one of the better changeup hitters, and this was a changeup out over the plate. He fought off the fastball by fouling it off to the third base side. He got the changeup, drilled it by Butler in a very promising way to start the second.
That's a famous Tony Oliva of the Minnesota Twins. That's a famous Tony at bat right there. Fight off the fastball to the left side, get something off speed, and hammer it to the right side. So here's Andrew hitting at .203, 11 homers. He's driven in 25. Checks it up for ball 1. Not too much. Andrew That'll get the job done. High into center field. Kotze is tagging, as is A.J. A.J. just goes a few steps, pulls it up as Kotze will score, and this game is tied at 1.
Well, Andrew knew that he was going to have to pick something that he could hit up in the air. But the wind today is going to be plenty far enough. And that ball is up in the zone. LaRue actually hangs it. He's fortunate it stayed in the ballpark.
Better believe it.
And Andrew Jones with just his second sacrifice fly of the year.
So Tank takes the ball inside. Tank comes in hitting at 286. A homer, he's driven in 4. And it should be. Back him up. And that'll do it. But the Sox get the sacrifice fly off the bat of Andrew Jones. We'll go to the third, tied at 1. We're going to take on the Twins in Minnesota. So tune in as the AL Central rivals duke it out at Target Field. White Sox Twins Thursday night at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. One 1-0 for their guys, 1-2-0 for our guys here in the top of the third inning. It'll be Meyer, Betancourt, then back to the top of the order with Scotty Pies. Takes that pitch high and wide.
We know there has to be some butterflies for Daniel Hudson, but he's fallen behind early in the count, which is something that he doesn't normally do.
There's a strike in the count, 2-1. Well, you mentioned, you prefaced it with a big issue making his first start, butterflies. As there's Omar, 1 out.
Let's take a look at what Daniel Hudson has done for a career in the minor leagues. 30-13, an ERA below 3. And bear in mind, last year he made every stop. Single, double, and triple A before the major leagues, and that's a meteoric rise through the system. He's still a young man with a world of promise.
Here's Betancourt hitting at 258, 6 homers. He's driven in 36. That ball hit into right field. That's a can of corn for that man. 2 down. Well, you and I both talked to a lot of scouts on the road, especially on the road. And the 2 names that they're always asking me about on our club, our organization, are Hudson and Viciedo. They've seen Beckham now. But the two guys they haven't seen that much of are Hudson and the Tank, and it's amazing how many of them, those are the two names they mentioned.
When they go to offer a trade, especially if it's a big deal, first name they mention is Beckham.
Right.
Then, well, obviously because Beckham is Major League ready.
And he falls behind Scotty Podge 2-0. Scotty struck out on a changeup. Usually in the big trade conversation scenarios go Beckham and Hudson in order. Don't want to walk this man. He has 25 stolen bases. Looks like he's just trying to be too fine, Stone Pony.
Well, sometimes nipping at the corners doesn't really help you very much, especially when you haven't established that you're a major league pitcher who can consistently throw strikes. If you can do that, then you'll get the benefit of the doubt on those. But when you're making your first major league start, you're not going to get the benefit.
And the payoff pitch. Chop foul. And a reminder, you can enjoy a day here at beautiful US Cellular Field with your family and friends because individual tickets for the Sox are on sale right now. For tickets, visit WhiteSox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME. Once again, the 3-2. And once again, a souvenir. Nice crowd on hand. And he walks the wrong man on the changeup.
Well, this is a time that if you have a slide step, it's a good time to use it because Kendall is the kind of number 2 hitter that will take enough pitches to give Posednik a chance to steal second base. 3 walks already. He'd only had 31 walks all year in the minor leagues.
And Podge with a good lead. And the count 1-0 on the pitch out. And he pops him up. Andrew is there, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. We'll go to the bottom of the third, tied at 1.
Sox pitcher with shutouts in consecutive starts. And while you ponder that, we'll give you the answer a little later in the game.
So this game tied at 1 here in the bottom of the third. It'll be Beckham, then back to the top of the order with Pierre and Omar. Gordon 2 for 6 in the series with a homer. Boy, he just hit a rocket out of here yesterday. Takes first pitch strike. There's a bullet right back through the middle. So if you missed that home run yesterday, Stone Pony, on this breaking ball, you got it out of here in a hurry, didn't you?
Well, if you missed it, Gordon didn't. A rolling breaking ball. That one didn't have a chance to get up too high, and it was over the bullpen. His third of the year. And even before Gordon sat down a couple days on the bench, he showed signs that he was starting to hit the baseball. And since coming back, he's starting to square up just about every pitch.
Well, as we've talked about, as here's one, he grounded out to short. We're a good ball club. We're a good ball club right now. But the guy that can make us a very, very good ball club is Gordon Beckham.
Well, if Carlos continues to do what he's been doing, and Gordon can start hitting and driving in some runs, we're going to be a tremendous force in the second half. And the thing that I like about it is we're going to have our destiny in our own hands. It's not like we're back a whole lot. We do have 13 left with Minnesota, 13 left with Detroit. And the road to the playoffs is always through your division. So handle those guys and then start thinking about October.
Well, if Beckham comes around, we're as good as anybody. It's just that plain and simple. That's out of play left side. And a reminder, every White Sox Friday home game is United Flyaway Friday. Each Friday home game, one lucky fan will have a chance to win 2 free round-trip tickets to anywhere in the continental United States that United Airlines flies. United, proud to fly the Chicago White Sox. Compliments of Mark Sparky Sipole, Mike Corrigan. 1-2 the count. Outfield around to the left. A little bit of a gap out there in right center. Decent lead. And another souvenir from Mr. Souvenir. Boy, they're really giving it to one of the fans in one of the suites up there.
As he leaned over into the LG Skyline.
He almost came through
club seats. Got the ball.
And there's a ball caught by Betancourt. They're going to double him up. That was a beautiful play right there by Unieski. Betancourt did not look like he was going to get it, and he did. So 2 down.
Not only a good leap, but a great throw. And it's our Home Depot doing more on defense. It looked like it was going to be at least first and second, possibly first and third, nobody out. Instead, it's nobody on and 2 out. As Gordon broke the cardinal rule of any base runner, make a line drive go through.
We're going to give him a little exemption on that one, though. I don't think anybody thought he was going to get that one. Second double play turn by the Royals. Has Omar with a 1-1 count. He hits the ball hard into left field. And the count 2-1. Alex Rios on deck. Bottom of the 6th at Comerica Park. Still 4-0 Twinkies over the Tigers. Top of the 6th at City Park. And that's shutting out the Braves 1-0. Cleveland leading Tampa Bay 3-1. That game in the bottom of the 4th. Tropicana Field. security guys. And that's a chopper. Nice pick on the backhand. Can't get him. He beats it out.
Omar sniffing a base hit all the way, and at 43 years old, you never lose that instinct that allows you to beat that out.
Never lose that nose, do you?
Nope. You got a second baseman who doesn't have a whole lot of range. After getting the ball, he kind of bobbled it in the glove for an instant, and Omar beat it out.
So here's Alex. Starts him off with a changeup and a Jim Dandy. Alex was hit in the back with a breaking pitch. The only one I've seen LaRue throw.
He probably decided if they're all going to look like that, he would keep it in the bag for a bit. Maybe break it out later in the game.
Like the old 64 degree, huh? Keep it in the bag, because every time you bring it out, you're in trouble.
That's what happens a lot of times. Good pitch to get ahead and then forget about it.
That ball hit deep into center field. Stretch! Stretch! He goes back. You can put it on the board. Yes! Yes! A bullet over the center field wall by Alex Rios, and the Sox lead it 3-1. Mercy!
Well, it just shows you what some hustle does. Vizquel kept it alive by hustling the first base and beating out a leg hit. Our fourth home run replay. This one out away from Rios. 15 home runs, 49 driven in. More important than that, a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the third.
And here's Carlos. Carlos popped up to second. Starts him off with a breaking pitch and gets a strike. Carlos with 2 big homers yesterday. You missed them? Solo shot.
Bannister tried to sneak a fastball inside and then threw a straight change with equal results.
Did not check it up. And he did not do it. Alex yesterday swung the bat so well, he only came up with 1 hit. But that last at bat he had a rocket right to Billy Butler, who skied to bring it down. All year long, he's just been hitting the ball right on the barrel.
He's another guy you could make a case for being an all-star.
Oh, yeah.
When you factor in his defense, only made 1 error all year and covered alley to alley in every place we've been.
That ball hit deep. Podge just looks up. You can put that on the board. Yes! Back to back. Rios and Quentin, and it is a 4-1 Sox lead. Yeah!
And 57 are the power numbers for Carlos Quentin. Early in the season, when he couldn't buy a hit, he was still driving in runs. Now, the hits keep coming, as do the home runs and the runs batted in. Our 4th home run replay. Second time facing LaRue seems to be the charm, because he won 3-1 in Kansas City, and he's getting scalded here today.
And here's KCA. He singled and scored last inning. And that's out of play left side. And, of course, with those home runs by Rios and Quentin, the Alex Nelius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. Those numbers 96 and 7, so $9,700 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula. Low and in, ball 2.
You got to figure in our ballpark this time of year, we've got a tremendous advantage over this Kansas City team.
There's the bullet. Another one back to the middle by KCA.
That big difference has come because we've hit 97 home runs and they've hit just 60. So unlike their big ballpark where it's difficult to hit it out, not so at U.S. Cellular. And now Bob McClure comes out. He wants to talk with LaRue, who seemingly had things well in hand after Pierre lined into a double play. So there was nobody on and 2 outs, and the roof is falling.
Well, that's an excellent thought there, Stone Pony, because of the fact you might say, well, if it's a small ballpark like this is, then everybody can hit home runs, so it doesn't give us that much advantage. But the big advantage is the mindset, because once you're playing in a big park like Kansas City, as you mentioned, you just can't change that mindset like flipping a light switch.
And also, those fly balls that wind up on the track, here they wind up as souvenirs. And there's a lot of them in Kansas City that does that.
All right, he has to say, a reminder, you can visit the official online shop of the White Sox. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. So get your gear from the official source. Shop at WhiteSox.com.
Nobody up in the bullpen, so Bob McClure just went out there to try to settle down LaRue. Even with the All-Star game coming, he doesn't want to go to the pen in the 3rd inning.
A.J. singled, fought off a lot of pitches just like that last inning, and then got a changeup and hammered it in the hole between 1st and 2nd. That's high and wide, 1-1. Don't stop now, boys. Let's keep it going. 4-7-0 for our guys. 1-1-0 for their guys. Checks it up. And the count 2-1. Top of the 7th in Detroit. Still 4-0 Minnesota. Oh, he got a cookie right there and pulled his head just enough. That's when, boy, you really kick yourself right there.
Especially on a fastball that's probably 88 miles an hour, maybe 89.
And that's ball 4. So the first walk issued by LaRue.
What a wonderful day for 400. Not that there's a bad day for 400, but it's very lively at the ballpark here today.
Andrew has a sacrifice fly. He just missed hitting that one out of here. Just underneath it. There's a curveball strike. The second curveball he's thrown for a strike.
Teixeira warming up in the bullpen.
Going away, and the count evens at 1.
You saw Teixeira in this series as he relieved Bruce Chen in the 4th inning. He went 2 2/3, gave up a run on 3 hits in the opener.
snuck that one in on him. So 2 on, 2 out, 1-2 the count to Andrew. And the book on him, as we have seen from scouts. Here he is. He just looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes, number 400. Number 400 for Andrew Jones. He is now in 46th place all time by himself. Congratulations to one of the great players to ever play this game.
The fans giving Andrew a standing ovation, and justifiably so. He got one up in the zone and rode it out of the ballpark.
What a great player he has been. Bobby Cox will tell you right now, there has never been a better center fielder in the game of baseball than Andrew Jones. And you combine that with 400 home runs and all the RBIs and stolen bases he has, one of the great players to ever put a pair of spikes on.
He still obviously has a whole lot of life left. 4 driven in today out of the 7 Sox runs.
Well, he heard your suggestions, don't Tony?
Well, pretty lively day, Hawk. I think you and I could probably take one out today. We got to stand at second base.
You know what hurts? We had a fun going second base. We'd pull every hamstring in our body.
They'd go right for surgery over the All-Star break. 7-1.
Oh, boy, 400 home runs. And here's the 3-1 pitch. That ball hit deep. Way back. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. Number 2 for the tank. And it's 8-1. Mercy.
I would think that's going to be about it for LaRue. Home runs just keep getting longer. For Viciato, that's probably one of the longest home runs here in quite some time. Ned Yost comes out. We told you early in the game that the second time around is a completely different experience. And so as Teixeira comes ambling in from the pen, we'll be back after these messages. Third inning, LaRue has departed, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection call to the pen is Kenakoa Teixeira. On for the 27th time, ERA in the high 3s, we told you about when he faced us on Friday night. Left-handers and right-handers hitting him equally well. And he comes in and he inherits a 7-run deficit, courtesy of the long ball here in the third.
So here's Gordon. He started this inning off with a line shot single to center field. All over it, just underneath it. And that's into center field, right at Meyer. And it'll retire the side, but not before 10 men come to the plate. We put a huge crooked number up there, a 7 spot on 7 hits. We'll go to the 4th, leading 8-1.
Buy the 4th meal from Taco Bell. Open 1 a.m. or later.
Won the count to David DeJesus. Here in the top of the 4th inning, 8-1 Sox. Fouls it down, so no balls, 2 strikes. Just tuning in, Royals 1 in the 2nd to take the lead. First time in this homestand that we have been behind. Sox immediately tied it up with 1 and added 7 in the bottom of the 3rd. 4 home runs in that inning. That was a good pitch, just ate him up.
Sixth time that the Sox have hit 4 in an inning.
He gone. Change up. He'll grab some bench for out number 1.
Well, there's not much that can give you more confidence than when your team puts 7 up on the board. Good change up. And DeJesus swinging at the motion.
Tigers trying to come back in that game. They're hitting in the bottom of the 7th, now trailing Minnesota 4-2. The Tigers this year have had a lot of comeback wins.
We've got a few guys in that lineup that can really show you some thunder.
One in particular.
Well, Cabrera's been terrific. Ordonez's had a good year. Austin Jackson's had a good year. And Johnny Damon has really helped that team.
Yeah, Mags is having a good year over there. And Cabrera, he's the best right-handed hitter in this one. That ball hit hard. One. Can't get there. So Butler. Tommy hawks it. And the one-out double. This is 26 two-bagger.
It's going to be a lot of talking over the All-Star break as representatives of all the teams will be in Anaheim. That's where the foundation, if they haven't been put together to this point, the foundation for a lot of trades will come at the All-Star game. And it's going to be a very interesting couple of weeks until the trade deadline.
As that ball hit into the gap, nobody's going to get that one. So Butler will score. And it's a ground rule double for Guillen. And it's an 8-2 ball game. And check it. That ball went out of here. Wow. It's an 8-3 ball game. I was watching Butler, and I just thought that was going to be a shot in the gap. It just didn't come down.
Well, that's how hard Guillen can hit the ball, because there's a lot of guys, if they hit it like this, it's a sinking line drive. This one was an accelerating line drive. His 15th of the year. He's driven in 54. That one got out of here in a hurry, and that's about as low as you can hit it and still get it out of the park.
Well, they jump right back in it. And the count 2-0. All right, Daniel, come on now. There, okay, Jay, go out and talk to him. How short a memory can you have? You got to have a short one to be in Major League Baseball.
Well, as AJ probably said, what's happened, happened. Throw strikes to me, get the hitter out. They do have 5-run lead.
And that's in the left field. One is there. 2 down. So here's Aviles. Had a sacrifice fly in the second. And the count 2-0. Listen, we'll get it and throw it. And that pitch is fouled away right side. That's one of the toughest things for a lot of guys to learn. Not that Hudson, this is his first start this season up in the big leagues. If you're just tuning in. But some youngsters really have a hard time learning after a big inning like that. You still got to treat it as a 0-0 ball game. Has the count 2-2.
Another factor is you've been on the bench a long time. As that was a very long half inning. You got to go out there, and the umpire will always give you extra pitches to warm up, even on a hot day.
He gone. But the 2-run homer by Guillen, just a line shot out of here. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth, leading 8-3.
pitcher with shutouts and consecutive starts. In this great day of television, we have a video flashback. It was John Garland, April 25th in 05 at Oakland, and then May 1st versus the Tigers.
Sox with a 5-run lead. 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors for our guys. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for their guys. It'll be the top of the order. Juan Pierre to lead it off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. One is 0 for 2 twice. That's going out to the shortstop. Once on the ground and once on the line drive that Betancourt turned into a double play.
And for those of you who expected Zach Greinke to go to the mound today, Greinke fielding a bunt his last time out aggravated something in the back of his shoulder. They decided to push him back.
And there's a base hit.
And for us, that worked well.
So here's Omar. Vizquel is lined hard to left and had an infield single. It started off that 7-run third with 2 out. Looks at that pitch down low. St. Louis leading Houston 3-2. They game in the bottom of the 4th down at the juice box.
A lively day like today at the ballpark, you can really never have too many runs.
Asco at the cut of the grass. Now goes back a little bit, even with the bag. And Teixeira with a 1-0 pitch. And that's outside. 2-0 to Vizquel with Rios on deck. And the count 3-0. Don't help him out. Southpaw Dusty Hughes loosening up and down in that royal pen. Let's see. There he goes. Great. And they say he got him. Juan didn't believe it.
On a 3-0 pitch, you know you're going to get a fastball. And he got him in the back of the arm.
Yes, he did. Sam Holbrook right on top of it.
Before the hand hit the bag. Yep, he's out.
So a full count. He had a good jump, too. I tell you, Kendall is... He's just been gunning them down.
He's found the fountain of youth for arms.
And that's a base hit out there into left center field. So Omar now 2 for 3. Omar's second, of course, all time in base hits for a shortstop. 2,677. The thing about it is, Omar also is 4th all time, as there's a breaking ball to Alex. For switch hitters, of course, Pete Rose is 1st, Eddie Murray 2nd, Frankie Frisch 3rd, and Omar Vizquel is 4th.
It's kind of amazing when you remember back to the early parts of his career. And as Omar tells the story, he wasn't a switch hitter till the middle of his minor league career. They said, we think you should hit this way for a while. Seems to have worked out rather well.
Well, among active leaders, he is third all-time in base hits. Derek Jeter leads with 2,846. Ivan Rodriguez with 2,773. Omar now with 2,739. What a fabulous career he's had.
But not a whole lot of sign of really slowing up very much.
Well, we all know what he's meant to this ball club.
Well, this streak probably wouldn't have been possible without his efforts.
The 3-1. And this should be the third double play turn by the Royals. And a bad throw by Aviles.
Can't understand that throw because Omar was nowhere near him. Only thing I can think of is that Aviles lost track of the outs. That's a horrible relay when they had time to make an easy two.
So Alex, who had hit a 2-run homer at last inning, his 15th of the year, he's aboard. And here's Carlos Quentin, who backed his homer up with his 18th. Breaking ball. Oh, he is hot with himself, and well, he should be. Got a cookie all over, just underneath it, and that'll retire the side. We're into the fifth, leading by 5. Top of the fifth inning. Sox lead at 8-3. Mitch Meyer, the center fielder, takes strike one. He's 0 for 1. He popped up to Omar at short. Outfield about equidistant, spread out slightly to the left. As there's a ball in the center fielder, it's going to fall for the hit. So first man aboard, and a reminder, you can text Subway to 53695, and if you are the 500th texter, you could win five $5 footlong subs from Subway. So here's Betancourt. He went out to Andrew Jones in right field. That ball hammered in the left. Pierre can't get there. So that's going to be a double, and we got trouble of brewing right here again. So for the second inning in a row, the Ducks on the pond, nobody out.
And the bullpen getting loosened up in a hurry. Daniel Hudson has not had particularly good stuff today. Don Cooper on the phone. Betancourt gets a fastball right on the inner third and hits the daylights out of it. Juan Pierre, who can close a lot of ground, has no chance as this one goes to the wall.
And here's Scott Posednik. He has struck out and he has walked. Takes strike one.
.34 runs batted in for leadoff hitter. He faked a bunt. Tony Pena and Eric Threets.
And that's foul. The count 0-2.
There are the numbers so far on Hudson. An uncharacteristic 3 walks in 4+ innings.
Well, it just tells you his location, and he's fallen behind a heck of a lot of hitters. He's just not been there, and the thing about it is understandable, making his first major league start this season. But one thing about it, when you got a team here in July, just the day before the All-Star break, leading the major leagues in hitting, and you got a day like today, you cannot take anything for granted. You cannot let down. You have got to keep mashing. One, two. That's into right field. And that's going to fall for a base hit. So it's an 8-4 ball game. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
RBI number 35. 3 up, 3 hits. And it's a 4-run game. That's a changeup. He keeps it down. Normally a decent pitch to most people, but left-handers with short swings.
Now here comes Ozzie. And he's going to the pen. So 5 hits in the last 2 innings. Hudson will depart. And we'll be back.
.199 ERA in the last 9 games, 16 strikeouts, 22 2/3 innings. And our Lexus Pursuing Perfection call to the pen is Tony Pena. Tony 2-1, ERA 4.97 on for the 30th time. Last time out, multiple innings for Tony Pena. And he's done a terrific job over the last month out of that pen.
So here's Jason Kendall, who has walked and he's popped up to right field. Takes ball one. 8th inning at Comerica Park. Minnesota leading the Tigers 6-2. But right here we got our own problems. We lead at 8-4, but they are threatening for more. It's good lead.
Pretty big numbers. 79% with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. Especially when the league average is just a touch over 50-50.
And that has popped up into short right center field. That could be a lot of trouble. And it falls in. So it's an 8-5 game with 2 on, nobody out.
He couldn't have thrown it out there any better, because as Beckham was going as hard as he could out, Rios was coming over, Jones was coming in, and that ball just drifted away from Gordon at the last instant. Turned out no chance for anybody to get it. And now a 3-run lead with still nobody out.
And here's to Jesus. At the heart of the order coming up, Butler and Guillen. Jesus hit the ball very hard into a 3-6-3 double play in the first inning. Then he struck out on a good changeup, leading off last inning. Minnesota did not score in the top of the 8th. And this should be. Take your time, boys. Rack them up. 2 down.
That was a big 4-6-3. Especially with Butler and possibly Guillen coming up. But Jesus pounds into a double play.
Butler is 2 for 2. A hard single, a hard double, and he scored twice. Oh, and 2 the count. Tigers hitting in the bottom of the 8th. It is 6-3. Yap out there in left center. He gone on the outside corner. Good job by Tony Pena. We're halfway home, leading 8-5.
Game at 1-1, ERA 3.54, on for the 34th time. He's been used in the middle. We've seen him in this series. And he handcuffs Kendall with the first pitch.
8-11-0 for our Sox, 5-7-0 for their Royals. Tigers did score one in the bottom of the eighth. They'll go to the ninth now. It is 6-3 Twinkies. KCA has been a big factor in this game. He has singled twice and scored twice.
Daniel Hudson went 4+ innings, gave up 5 runs on 6 hits, walked 3, fanned 4.
2-1. Stay with him, Mark. Krasinski on deck. And Andrew Jones in the hole. Off the end of the bat, got a lot of spin. Betancourt. 1 out. In case you're just tuning in the third inning, Sox hit 4 home runs, scoring 7 times. 2-run homer by Rios, and then Quentin backed that up with a solo shot. And Andrew Jones with a 3-run bomb, his 400th of his career, and then the tank, Viciedo, backed that up with a solo shot.
The Royals haven't exactly rolled over and played dead. They came back with 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and make it a fairly close game.
AJ has walked and scored. That was in the 3rd. He singled in the 2nd. Cues that one foul. And that is foul right back to our left. And the 0-2. Made a bad pitch. Hit hard. Butler controls. Hughes is right where he should be. And that is out number 2. And here's what Andrew did back in the 3rd inning for number 400.
It's our Xfinity High defining moment as he got a hanging breaking ball and highlighted a 7-run third with number 400.
And takes ball 1 right there. Boy, if you couple that with the leather he has thrown in his career, wow. Wow. Tops that one foul.
Andrews was the 3rd of 4 home runs in the 3rd inning, tying an all-time Sox record.
As I mentioned, he is now alone in 46th place. He passed up the great Al Kaline of the Tigers and Andres Galarraga. Two and 2 the count. Now field about equidistant, spread out slightly to the left. Got him with a breaking ball. And that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Dusty Hughes. We're into the 6th. for 2 with a 2-run homer. They're coming back in the 4th inning, and the last time these two saw each other wasn't a pleasant experience for Tony Pena. That was at Kauffman Stadium.
What was that slider that was supposed to do a little bit more than
it did?
It did. It got out of there in a hurry.
But a 3-run homer, and that turned out to be the deciding blow. And there's a shot base hit. So the 8th hit by Kansas City. I mentioned they lead the big leagues in hitting, coming in with that 282 mark. And when you're doing that on July 11th, you've got some guys that can hit.
Kevin Seitzer has done a nice job with this ball club as far as teaching patience. He used to strike out a lot, walk very infrequently. Now there's some guys who will run the count deep, but they make much more contact now than they've ever had.
Well, what's really impressed me, Steve, with what he's done with them is you have to adjust as there's a 2-hopper. And Omar gets it over there. He wouldn't look giddy up on that one. He didn't just toss it over there like Aparicio and get you.
Well, Omar knows exactly who's going up the line. And he knows exactly how much time he has. That time, just enough to get you by that step.
But what Seiser's done has been such a wonderful job to me is that he has put them in the mindset, in the thought process for that particular ballpark. That's what he's done. And you don't see any of these guys going up there swinging for the fences. That's why they're making more contact. You get some guys get to a big ballpark like that, and all of a sudden their swing goes from this long, medium long, from about 1.5 feet long to about 3 feet long.
It usually doesn't work very well.
No. And a lot of times hitters will not buy into that thought process because they want to hit home runs.
Well, then they are in the wrong park to consistently do that.
That ball hit well into center field. Alex, that's a can of corn for him. Boy, I tell you, can he cover some graceful ground out there? Wow.
The center and right today with Jones and Rios make it look easy.
All right.
Earlier, and here are the results so far. It looks like the starting pitching Ortiz has the inside track. There's still time to vote for who has contributed the most during the White Sox recent success. Again, final results. You'll have to be with us on the U.S. Cellular postgame show.
First pitch downstairs to the tank. Ryan Viciedo, who is 1 for 2, a long home run. And we'll show it to you. right now. Poof. Watch where this ball lands.
This was the 4th of 4.
They estimated 4 rows from the concourse.
They say it was 432. Underestimated feet.
That's short.
I think that's a little
I'd
short.
like to buy some lumber from them. 4 rows from the top is a long way. In fact, that's the longest one hitting this ballpark all year.
I thought so when it left the bat. It just kept on going. Shows you what kind of power he's got, and he's got that kind of power to all fields.
Good grounder, nice pitch by Hughes, bobbles, and thrown away. Diane, get back. Okay, he will.
Well, he took a break towards second, and had they been able to get to the ball in time, they would have had him at first, but Aviles couldn't get there. Had a good chance of being a base hit, and it is. Haskell could not get it out of the glove. Then the throw was off the mark. Diane taking a look at it, and just that little break towards second would have qualified you to be tagged out.
So here's Beckham. There's a chopper fair ball. Thank you very much. Viciedo will make the turn, go into third. So the Sox runners at the corners. Gordon now 2 for 3. His only out was a line shot in the center field.
Pounds this ball straight down and gets a trampoline-like bounce well over the head of Butler and well fair. Now an opportunity to add to what at one point was a comfortable lead. Now only a 3-run lead.
So here's one. He is 1 for 3. Takes ball 1. Nice take right there by Pierre.
Marte loosening up in the bullpen. We've seen a whole lot of him also.
Decent lead by Beckham. Takes the bunt, takes the ball, and now he's got the catbird seat at 2-0.
Last time we saw Marte was on Friday night, where he went an inning and 2/3, gave up 4 runs on 3 hits and a couple of walks.
There's one out in the bottom of the 9th with a man aboard in Detroit, where the Twins lead at 6-3. Big John Roush on the mound.
Well, Dusty Hughes is not used to going multiple innings. He came in averaging under 2/3 of an inning per appearance. He's in his 2nd inning of work, and he's having a tough time.
There's the strike. 3-1 with Vizquel, the on-deck hitter. Now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning.
I like that step back and throw to first, but you have to have a lot of arm to do that and get it there in the air on the money.
I like it from our standpoint when they do it.
Well, not many pitchers do it well. And Hughes falls into that not doing it well category.
And a full count.
Matt Thornton, the All-Star. Loosening up in the pen.
Our Dan Plesac. And that's ball 4. That will load him up. And that Minnesota game is over. Twins win it 6-3. So the Sox, with a victory here today, could go to the All-Star break in first place.
I know it is a psychological situation, being in first place at the All-Star break, but then to have to be caught instead of have to catch somebody is a whole different feeling.
Well, the whole different feeling is where we were just a month and a half ago. Dead.
9.5 back. 9 under 500.
Dead.
And dead in the water. Briefly.
Well, two guys. Omar Vizquel at the plate and Freddie Garcia have been the definitive reasons for a big turnaround.
Freddie's just had a miraculous first part of this year.
2-0 the count.
There has been a scoring change, and they're going to change the Vizquel base hit to lead off this inning to E5. He's still at third, and he's not going to win the batting title, so it's not going to matter all that much.
And the count for Yuma. One thing about having Vizquel, you never have to give him a sign. Boy, how'd you like to have 25 guys like that?
Well, you'd have the smartest team in baseball, I know that.
Yep. There's one. Never. Not a whole bunch of. Roberto Alomar was another. Never had to give him a sign. Force over, Gordon Beckham's going to be like that. That ball into center field. That's going to get the job done. Vizquel was tagging. Here he comes. He will score, and it's a 9-5 Sox lead. Nice job by Vizquel.
RBI number 15 leaves him 2 for 3 today. Scored a run, driven in a run. And that's going to be it for Dusty Hughes. As Ned Yost comes on, he's going to bring Marte in from the bullpen. And we're going to step out and be back after these messages.
Game day experience. You can visit the Comcast dugout to see Sox equipment, take photos next to life-size player cutouts, and listen to updates about the Sox pitching staff on the Xfinity Voice dugout phone. All brought to you by the great folks at Comcast.
And the Lexus pursuing perfection call to the bullpen is Victor Marte. He inherits Sox runners at first and second. Only one out here in the bottom of the sixth. There you look at the numbers. Right-handers have hit him better than left-handers.
Alex takes ball one. He's 1 for 2. He hit a home run, just a rocket out of here over that center field fence. A 2-run shot. Back in the third inning, that made it a 3-1 ball game. Sox with 99 home runs on the season. And if you missed it, poof. Nice try.
here. Went as high and as far as he could go. One still went over the wall by plenty.
Well, if you don't give it that little shot right there, you got no chance of getting on a highlight.
Well, you never know. Maybe a gust of wind, a bird, anything might knock it into your glove.
The wind wasn't going to do it.
No.
Not
when it was still 20 feet over the wall.
The 2-1. Now, 3 balls in the strike. Don't stop now, boys.
A big part of that ERA that Marte is sporting is because of the 4 runs he gave up in the first game of the series.
And that'll load him up. And here comes Carlos. Carlos 1 for 3. He backed up that 2-run homer with a homer of his own, number 18.
Career with the bases loaded. A very young career for Carlos Quentin. It's been particularly impressive.
That ball way back. Podge just looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. Mercy. A grand slam. And it is 13-5. Hello.
First ball, fastball, and just like that, Carlos unclears the bases. So he continues his mastery with the bases loaded. His 4th grand slam. His 2nd home run of the day. His 4th in 2 days. Pretty impressive series.
Wow.
19-61.
That was a hard 240 coming in.
Was it ever? Considering that he was around 210 and still driving in big runs for quite some time.
Going to the count to Kotsay. Mark is 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored.
Ford is getting its money's worth today. Here's a Ford home run replay. First ball, fastball. An 8-run lead.
So here's AJ. AJ is 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, a run scored, and a ground out to first. Sox trying for their 8th in a row. And since June 8th. Not a good swing by AJ. We've checked that since June 9th. Over a month now, the Sox, we can hold on here, will be 25-5 in the last 30.
That's a good 30.
And the count 1-2.
1984, Detroit started out 35-5. And they wound up winning it without really any race after the first 40 games.
Two and two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Sox with 1 in the second, 7 in the third, 5 so far here in the 6th. Off the glove, deflects over. Bailey's has got it, so it'll be a 1-4-3. But the grand slam homer by Carlos Quentin. Sox put a 5 spot up there and lead it by 8. Stanley Cup champions. So what you do is you text champs to B-Hawks. That's 242-957 to join Blackhawks Mobile and be entered in to win a Stanley Cup champion street banner autographed by members of the Blackhawks team. That's champs to 242-957.
Tony Pena came out at the right time. Helped Daniel Hudson get out of a troublesome 5th. And now he's the pitcher of record with an 8-run lead.
Strike 1 to Mitch Meyer, who singled and scored. Back in the 5th. Pops it up. Beckham. One down. Here's Betancourt. He's 1 for 2, a double. And he scored a run back in the 5th. 13-13-0 for our guys. 5-8-0 for their guys here in the finale of this series, this homestand before the All-Star break. And that has popped up right side, and that's a long way to go for Andre.
Almost had that ball at the last instant. Made a lunge for it. Jerry Davis followed him down. Almost came up with it.
So the count remains 0-2. And of course, next time we'll see you will be Thursday the 15th. Right here on Comcast Sportsnet, first of that 4-game series from Target's Field against the Minnesota Twins. Then we will have 3 games in Seattle after that series. An off day on the 22nd. Finish up that road trip. As we take a look at our Felco upcoming schedule, the 3 against the Oakland A's.
Kyle Farnsworth throwing in the bullpen for these Royals.
Chopper to Hopper. The tank. 2 down. So now the Royals go back to the top there with Scotty. Scotty Pides is 1 for 2. A strikeout in the first, a walk in the third, an RBI single in the fifth. And our next homestand will be July 26th, starting July 26th. 4 with Seattle and 3 with Oakland. So make your plans to be with us here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field.
Doesn't hurt that Seattle will be leeless.
That's low. Cliff Lee started last night. Got beat. Baltimore trying to sweep the Rangers.
In their ballpark.
Yeah. There's a line shot into left field. So he picks up his second hit. He's 2 for 3. He's 5 for 12 in the series. You know, I saw that graphic this morning. The 3 worst ballparks in Cliff Lee's career to pitch in. Number 1,
Texas. Yeah, that's
he's got almost an 8 ERA there.
It's unbelievable, and he showed it actually in the game last night. But I have a feeling, and this is just me,
Ryan Pena. Go ahead.
At the end of this season, because he is a free agent, I'm not thinking he's going to be in Texas.
Now, if I had to bet, which I'm not a betting man, except in certain things.
Bet on pinstripes?
Bet on Fahey and Carl Crawford both. Those two will be in New York.
Fielder Greg Gibson, and he said yes, indeed, he swung.
And indeed he did.
Yep. That head went in front of the plate.
Baltimore leading Texas 3-1. That game in the bottom of the third down at Rangers Ballpark. So 2 out and the 1-2.
Well, last night, Baltimore ran out Chris Tillman, a very promising young pitcher. And another youngster today, Jake Arrieta, who also is a talented youngster. So they've got a pretty young staff.
Tillman had a pretty good hook. Saw some of the highlights of that. Ball hit hard, sucked up by Gordon. Nice play. And they'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch. Sox lead at 13-5. has a little high neck in the big leagues. And I've only seen him with the 39 at bats have one at bat that I thought was a bad at bat, where he looked a little lost up there. The rest of them, he has been like he's been here for 10 years. The way he takes a pitch, and that's a chopper foul. But the name of the game in hitting in the big leagues, it's a game of constant adjustments. You've got to make adjustments from at bat to at bat, sometimes from pitch to pitch against good pitchers.
Well, that's why you give a youngster $10 million, as Kenny did, because he realized that no matter where he went, he was going to hit.
That ball hit hard in right center field. And nobody's going to get that one. It's off the wall. So here comes the tank. He'll score on the double by Beckham, and he's starting to swing it. If he starts to swing it, we go from a good team to an outstanding team.
The only time they retired Gordon today was ending that third inning on the line drive to center field. So he drives in his 22nd run. He's 3 for 4, gets a fastball right down the middle and cranks it right in the alley in right field. That ball hit off the wall, bounced away from Meyer.
3 for 4 for Beckham. And here is Juan Pierre, who is 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Takes it outside. 14-15-0 for our guys. 5-9-1 for their guys. And it appears that our Sox about 5 weeks ago, just languishing around, buried in third place, 9.5 games back. They're going to go into the All-Star break in first place.
Well, with 6 outs to go for Kansas City, there's a lot of arms in the bullpen that can protect a 9-run lead that have yet to be used.
If they're not, then we're not an outstanding team.
Nope.
You're just tuning in. Royals 1 in the second. Sox tied it. They added 7 in the third, 5 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh. As that ball is popped up. Pads 2 down.
Brent Lillibridge comes on, and he's going to get a couple of swings. Omar had a very productive day, so his day is done.
Omar was 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Omar's always doing something to help you win a ball game, and he has been for an awful long time.
Well, today, instead of third base, they needed him at shortstop. Played a flawless shortstop. Viciedo playing third. He had a big day.
And that ball's hit hard into the gap. Nobody's going to get that one. So Beckham's going to score, and it's 15-5.
And one of the things that's gone largely unnoticed, the fact that since coming back to the major leagues, Brent Lillibridge has hit everything in sight. He came in hitting .429. He drives in his 10th run. That's in 22 at bats. Now he's 5 for 5 with 7 RBIs as a pinch hitter.
But here's the hit to put us on top. Back in the third inning.
Alex Rios got a fastball out of way and cranked it.
Stops that one foul. And a reminder, come out to the Chevy Test Drive event in Lot E at U.S. Cellular Field on July 17th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. What you do is you test drive a Chevrolet and receive a free pair of Sox tickets. Quantities are limited to 1 pair of tickets per person. And you must be at least 21 years of age with a valid Illinois driver's license. Did not check it up, and that'll do it. Sox pick up a couple of more. We'll go to the 8th, leading 15-5. As we get set to go to the 8th inning and a pitching change. Scott Linebrink comes on for Tony Pena. Another terrific job by Tony, going 3 innings, no runs, gave up 3 hits, no walks, had a strikeout, and he is a pitcher of record. As the Sox trying to sweep the Royals and sweep this homestand. They swept the Angels in that 4-game set. First time they've done that since 1983, 37 years ago. As a matter of fact, then we went out there to Anaheim and swept them again in the 4-game series out there. David DeJesus takes strike 1. And he takes strike 2. Outfield, they're straight up, spread out. Checking some of the scores for you. Yankees scored twice in the top of the first out of Seattle. That's Sabathia on the mound for the Bronx Bombers. Minnesota defeated Detroit 6-3. Minnesota breaking a 4-game losing streak. Mets shut out the Braves 3-0 at City Park. And here's the 0-2. And that's top foul. So Atlanta now with just a 4-game lead over the Mets. St. Louis leading Houston 3-2. That game in the top of the 8th down at the juice box. Cleveland and Tampa Bay tied at 5. Bottom of the 8th down at Tropicana Field. Tampa Bay in second place is 2 games back of New York. Close pitch, didn't get it in the count, 1-2. There's big, strong Robinson Tejada loosening up. And the 1-2 delivery. That's low. Later on, Cubs taking on the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Boston beats Toronto 3-2 at the Rogers Center. Ademo Intuit is now full with Billy Butler on deck. 29,040 in the house this afternoon. It has been just a wonderful day, and boy, what a wonderful 5 weeks. Wow. Come back from 9.5 back to have a lead in your division at the All-Star break. That's out of play left side. Jesus 0 for 3 this afternoon. Hit into a 3-6-3 double play, a strikeout, and then hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Sox have turned 3 twin killers. Fisted by KCA. Not a whole bunch to it. Got it a little towards the trademark and just got it by. So here's Butler. Butler is 2 for 3. A solid single, a solid double, and he has scored twice. Takes it inside. Willie Bloomquist has come out on deck to hit for Jose Guillen. And the count 2-0. No walks. There's a chopper, and it's foul. If you're just tuning in, Royals with that run in the second. First time in this homestand that we had trailed. But they tied it up immediately in the bottom of the second. And then that big 7 spot in the third, highlighted by 4 home runs. Rios, Quentin back to back. And then Jones and the Tank, Luciano back to back. There's a strike, and the count evens at 2. Top of the 9th in Washington, 6-2 Giants. Giants starting turning on a little bit. Bottom of the 4th in Texas, still 3-1 Baltimore. Pops him up right side. Andrew rushing in to take the heat off of Beckham right there, as he should. And that's out number 1. So here's Bloomquist. Jose Guillen today was 2 for 3, a 2-run homer. I mean, that was just a low line shot out of here. And then a hard single. So Bloomquist hitting at 232, a couple of homers. He's driven in 10. Takes that pitch down low. Chris gets out on deck. The hit for Castro. And that's popped up. Can of corn. 2 out. So here's Chris. Getz hitting at 234. No homers. He's driven in 10. A nice young man. Well, he did a good job for us last year. As he takes strike 1. And that has popped up. Billy Bridge is there, so he gives up the base hit to De Jesus and retires Butler, Bloomquist, and Getz. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, leading by 10. You can all watch a lot of it, or I'm going to watch some of it. Throughout the All-Star break, you can relive Chicago's thrilling quest for the Stanley Cup with the Chicago Blackhawks, a championship journey. Yes, tonight through Wednesday, CSN will re-air 17 amazing games, including all 6 Stanley Cup final matchups. So for air times and more information, visit csnchicago.com. That's nice. All right, Chris Getz remains in the ball game for Kai Aspo at third, and a pitching change. Robinson Tejeda. He is the 6th Texas pitcher, and here is Ramon Castro. Takes ball 1, and throughout this whole sequence of the comeback, we've had 2 guys behind the plate, and AJ and Castro, who have really been outstanding in putting the numbers down. And that is so important that that's fouled straight back over our heads. You just don't see that often. About 80 to 85 to 90% of the time, pitches are being called from the bench. These 2 guys call them themselves, and they have done a heck of a job. A heck of a job. That's popped up right side. Trying to come back. Butler is there, makes the catch, and that is out number 1. So the Sox got a chance to sweep this homestand, and let's take a look at our best homestands in club history. There you see. 08, June 3rd through the 9th, Kansas City, Minnesota. September 5th through 11th, and 83. Remember that one, Oakland, California. April of 72, Texas, Kansas City, Cleveland, 7-0, 7-0 and 65, and 6-0 in 89 against the Brew Crew and the Yankees. Katsay hits that one hard, so Castro retired. He was hitting for Carlos Quentin, and all Carlos did today was go 2 for 4. A solo homer in the 3rd, a grand slam in the 6th. So in this series, Carlos was 5 for 10. 4 home runs and 7 RBIs. And Katsay hits it hard. Meanwhile, 2 down. All right, Ned Yost out. Made a call to the bullpen. So Tejeda. He'll depart. And we'll be back. out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And he takes it up high. Sawyer's been their man. He's got 25 saves. Outfield around to the left. And that pitch down low, 2-0. AJ's 1 for 3. Solid single to right. A walk and a run scored. And the count 3-0 with Andrew Jones on deck. 15 runs on 16 hits, no errors for our Sox. 5 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for their Royals. There's one. Phillies beat Cincinnati 1-0. Boy, they've had some good pitching over there in that series the last couple of days. Wow. That ball hit hard. Get on back there over his head. It will. And it's going to be a ground rule double as it one hops over the center field fence. So AJ picks up his 16th two-bagger. Just a bullet. Not a whole bunch to it. He just racky-tacked it. So here's Andrew. What a memorable day for Andrew Jones. A sacrifice fly in the second, then his 400th home run of his career. A 3-run blast in the third. Takes first pitch strike. One of the great center fielders to play this game. 400 home runs. And on and on. And there's a base hit. AJ's going to be held to third. So when you take all things in consideration, strong candidate for Cooperstown. So here's the tank. He's 3 for 4 today. Check that. 2 for 4. That homer. Then they gave him an infield single and then took it away and gave an error to Callasco. And then he doubled in the 7th. Ooh, he got a cookie right there and just underneath it. Getting back to Jones, he's got 151 stolen bases in his career to go along with those 400 home runs and 1,199 RBIs. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th. And once again the 1-2. And once again a souvenir right side. Tank just 21 years old. We talked about his power. Hit one about 4 rows from the concourse back in the 3rd inning. Ball gets away, no advance. Well, we knew he had something as far as power goes 2 years ago in spring training in our last season in Tucson. When he hit one to right center field, it went about 450. And that's popped up right side. Get for him. It won't. Butler over. Makes the catch. And that'll retire the side. Couple of hits. We strand a pair. We'll go to the ninth, leading 15-5. Live. You can visit csnchicago.com to submit your question, and you might just get an answer live on air. So don't miss U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live with our Chuck, the Big Hurt, and Bill. Immediately following the game on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Pitching change here in the top of the ninth inning as Bobby Jenks comes on to get an inning of work. Bobby, the fourth Sox pitcher. If you're just tuning in, Daniel Hudson started. Didn't have as good control today. Went 4+ innings, giving up 5 runs, 6 hits, had 3 walks. That's very unusual for him. And 4 strikeouts. Tony Pena came on, back in the 5th, did another fine job. 3 innings, no runs, 3 hits. And he is a pitcher of record. Ryan Brink for an inning, and now Bobby Jenks. As Mike Aviles takes strike 1. Outfield around to the right. Gap in left center. And that's flared out there. That's a can of corn. Andrew Jones, 1 out. Sox 2 outs away from taking over first place in the American League Central. Your first place Chicago White Sox. How about those apples? Here's Mitch Meyer. He's 1 for 3. And he's going to be 1 for 4. Is Bobby right where he should be? And 2 down. And a reminder, you can organize a group outing of 20 or more guests. Purchase a block of tickets or enhance your outing with one of 6 great party areas. The more tickets you order, the more money you save. So call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. And the fans come to their feet. They know they've got a first-place ball club here. As Betancourt, Unieski, 1 for 3, stands up at that dish. Yes, at 96. $29,040. And they have been a lively crowd, and with much reason to be so. 0-2 the count. just joining us, Minnesota beat Detroit 6-3 at Comerica Park. Minnesota breaking a 4-game losing streak. He gone. And this ball game is over for your first place Chicago White Sox going into the All-Star break. Mercy. And look at that. And just think back about 5 weeks ago, I tell you, this has been the fastest turnaround that I have seen, that I can recall in my 51 years in this game. Sox going from that far back and going into first place before the All-Star break. How about it? And let's show you what happened today to start this game off. They scored first in the second inning, then in the third with 2 out, nobody on. Omar Vizquel beats out this play. And then Alex Rios comes to the plate and just hits a bomb out there, his 15th of the season, right over the center field fence, and then backed up by Carlos Quentin. Andrew Jones, of course, a 3-run shot, his 400th. And in the tank, Zion Viciedo hit one 4 rows from the concourse. That's the longest one hit in this ballpark this year. We came up with a 7 spot. But right now, let's go down on the field to a future Hall of Famer and our Sarah Kustok.
I'm Sarah Kustok here in front of the White Sox dugout with our GMC player of the game, Andrew Jones. Andrew, what a way to finish off the first half of this season. 8th straight win. You scored 15 runs. What got into your team's offense today?
Well, we just had to, get it going. I think we had just a rough start, and we were not doing the right things. And I think today we just, the last month we just been swinging it back good and having good at bats and score when we need to score.
Andrew, take us back to that 3rd inning. Your team gets 4 home runs, but even more special for you, your 3-run shot marked the 400th career home run. What does a milestone like that mean to you?
Well, I think always when you accomplish, milestones like that, it's always a plus for you. I think people don't get a chance to hit that many home runs. So he's just happy. Happy to win, and I think I'm happy to put it behind and just kind of move on.
Andrew, your team gets you. They're proud of you, and you've got to be proud of your team. Just over a month ago, 9.5 games out of the division race. Today, the White Sox moved to first place in the AL Central. How does that feel going into the second half of the season?
Well, I think we just finished strong. I think we just have opportunities to go out there and play good. And everybody start picking it up. Carlos Quentin starts swinging the bat really good, and Alex Rios has been doing the whole year, and Paul Corneco have been playing great baseball, and it was time for everybody else to kind of step it up, and we're doing it. I think the pitching staff been pitching great, and we're just happy to get on a good streak, and hopefully second half we continue to do this and pitch good, play good defense, and hit when we need to hit, and then we can bring a championship here back.
All right, thanks so much, Andrew. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
That is Andrew Jones, your GMC player of the game.